Here at the FXIC Forex Industry Conference in Shanghai, China, I'm joined by Brian Phillips, CEO of Argosy Capital Partners. Hello, Brian.
How are you? Thank you.
Good, nice to see you. And we've just had a very interesting discussion today here at the conference, and one of the particular subjects that came up is something that's really on everybody's minds all over the world, which is the fact that nowadays diversification in the electronic trading space is necessary. And you had something really interesting to say about aggregating the ability or inability, in fact, to aggregate CFD liquidity across the whole trading spectrum.
Yes, that's correct. I think what we've seen in the market, CFD liquidity has been unable to be aggregated due to different contract sizes, the different liquidity sources. And I think technology and regulations are going to catch up in the next year, and you're going to start to see more venues allow clients to open an account and receive multiple CFD feeds from different liquidity providers. And I think it's going to help streamline the CFD process and get a lot more participants involved in the market.
That's for sure. I would certainly agree with that. I think it might go two ways. One way would be, as you say, the OTC aspect. They might be prime of prime companies starting to look at how to price and clear CFDs. Another is the venue traded CFDs and other such equity products that will go towards a retail customer. How do you see the kind of diversification of prime of primes going down the CFD route happening?
Well, prime of primes have done a very good job in the last 6 months meeting their clients' needs after SNB, and I think they're going to continue to stay ahead of the game in providing those products and those services to their clients. I think a few of them have really jumped out in the last few months, and I think they're going to continue to differentiate themselves and pull themselves out where there's going to be a handful of leading prime of prime providers. And I think the rest of the market is going to be able to clearly say these are the true prime of prime. I think there's a lot of brokers out there that say they're prime of prime, but they're not actually giving you direct market access. And I think we're going to see that gap widen in the next 6 months.
Yes, I think so. I think this has to be good from a risk management perspective, I would imagine.
Yes, I think since SNB, we're seeing clients increase the risk that they've had to take on their own balance sheet, and that's been healthy. I mean, but you also need to have a good perspective and a firm perspective on what you're going to do and how much risk you can take. So I think over the last since the beginning of the year, we've seen a lot more companies increase their risk, but they've also had to increase the technology and the risk management. I would say inputs that they've had because they just weren't really equipped to do it pre-SNB, and now we've seen a lot more guys looking for ways to increase their overall risk management perspective.
Yeah, that's definitely right. Here in China, this has got to be one of the leading areas for this because as most of the more astute traders are going towards, they're constantly studying how to manage risk, especially when they're dealing with overseas companies, because it's much more difficult to have some kind of faith in something that you can't see quite clearly from the inside of China. So do you see China as being one of the most large regions for that specific dynamic?
Absolutely. I think counterparty risk is going to continue to be a major concern in the market. I think that's something that a few brokers are going to be able to handle. And then dealing with what we see in certain markets, everyone deals with each other because there's that local trust and local enforcement from a regulatory perspective. So that I think that's going to be interesting to see how that grows in Shanghai. If that's something that you're going to see a lot of larger brokers growing here, or if they're going to continue to look for other offshore brokers to help get involved in the mix.
That's most certainly right. It's definitely one of the most high-tech countries on the planet, this one for sure. So it'll be very interesting to see how they do that in this particular.
But one thing's for sure, there's going to be growth here, and there's going to be a lot of new business and a lot of new opportunity here. So I think it's a good thing. At the end of the day, it's going to be a very good thing for Shanghai and the FX business here.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Very nice to see you today, Brian.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Pleasure. See you soon.
Thank you.